Hello everybody, it's Cosnime, and I am back with more danganronpa. So, shall we continue the game? Yeah, I think we shall.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Yes, and let me just lower this volume, just in case. Seriously, I need to figure out the perfect volume, for me to be able to hear it and, not capturing the mic. Because I noticed that one of the videos there was echo.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him.
Very interesting how you just jump in there.
The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
What if there was a benefit?
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Oh god, I do not know how to do it. So let's see, can you really say there was no chance two people work together on this?
Based on the rules that have been laid
Okay,
out
let me
for us,
figure out this one.
even if more
There's
than
no
one
way it's the
person is
spotless
complicit
hammer.
in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained.
But that only really applies if there's one murder. In this case, however, there were two murders.
Assuming the rule holds true.
Oh, thank god, that was a shot in the black. God damn it, I cannot
Since there were
English!
two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
Yeah, pretty much you have nothing to gain.
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme.
Yeah, pretty much. Basically, if they both work together, the one who did the thing is the one who goes off. And, the partner just fucking dies.
There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you.
I was thinking about the whole thing of this rule. What if two people just became blackened? Do both of them just leave or just one of them? That is something I just noticed. I wonder, did ever something like this happen in danganronpa? No. It's usually just one, but what if two people kill two people? No, I mean, one guy killed and the other guy just killed a random guy. Do we count both of them as black and then they get off? Or what?
However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone. creating two separate incidents.
Oh, so basically, he's saying what I was saying. God damn it, here we go again. The birdie! Here's the birdie. Do not enter my room. It's a dead end. You won't be able to get out. And then I'm gonna have to just grab you and release you. If I can grab you.
And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look.
Uh-huh.
A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
Poor Hifumi. Can't help feel sorry for him.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
Yes. How can anyone be so cruel? I'm staring at you, Celeste. Quite obviously, you're the one.
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
Yes, she is. Are you okay, Makoto? What the hell is you're supposed to be in that with? She's almost too amazing. Now is not the time to admire the Kyoko form.
I understand how an accomplice
boy.
could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
That is true. Speaking of Uno, did you know there's a sequel of Uno? It's called Dos. Here's the thing, I'm not joking. I know that came out like as a joke, because Uno, Dos. But there is actually a Dos card game thingy. Look it out. It's awesome. It's like I have no idea how that works, but I just love the fact that they decided to make a sequel of Uno. Oh, I love it. Yeah, there's only one who seems to fit. Also, please, Birdie, do not get in. I can hear you messing around in there. Oh shit, and I can see Shadow. Oh god. Birdie? Oh no, I always saw his feathers. I can hear you, Birdie. I don't know what that sound is. Is the birdie just randomly eating something? Baking something? Or just jumping around in there? But oh god. I need to find a way to block those holes. Oh god, there's like it's more than one. Please, Birdie, I beg of you. Oh shit. Okay, and I'm back. So yeah, there's only one person who seems to fit this whole ordeal. So let's show it. The person who fits. The one is so fucking obvious. Celeste.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
Yeah, the one who keeps seeing for some reason Robot Justice. The one who somehow managed to escape Robot Justice. The one who woke up earlier than anyone. Thing is the fact that someone was killed and all those notes. The one who kept talking so fucking much, and every time we are trying to make progress on this case, keeps trying to deny the fact. It's useless, and it's so obvious that it's kind of sad.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
Yeah, pretty much.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
Celeste, you are the joke.
A joke? I wonder.
Got nothing to say?
What you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
Yeah.
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit-brained, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Uh-huh.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Yeah, just look everything.
That's so.
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Pretty much. Yeah, this one.
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. You're the one who saw it.
The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush, the adults are talking now.
Oh, shut up, Yakia.
Sorry.
Makoto, don't let him... Damn it,
As
Makoto.
he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
Pam pam pam.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct?
Yeah.
And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
Yeah. He's the one who saw it. The shadow.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
Yep.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Yeah.
Once
There you
she'd
go.
done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
The scream could have been the signal.
It was to get us to divide into two groups, so that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Oh yeah, that's right. She's the one who kept going on and on about this. I mean, let's face it, on the other times she barely ever interacts with the case, but this time she was all over.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on.
I love that scream.
That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it?
Damn it.
It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
It kind of sounds like a moaning scream.
Just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead, Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
So yeah, pretty much. Pretty much she just stamped it on us. Just to make sure that we are on the right track.
I don't believe it! Everything, the whole thing was one big act!
One big lie. Except she's a terrible liar. And it was quite obvious. I mean, I kept commenting on that. I mean, yeah, sure, I know she was the one all along, but still, it was so fucking obvious. I mean, Leon and Mondo, they weren't as obvious. You need to pay attention on the few things that are going on throughout the day. For instance, with Leo, though, we had to pay attention to the very objects, like the crystal ball, that thing, and make all the connections, because you also don't forget the fact that Leon was a ultimate baseball, or whatever it's called. And Mondo, we have to remember that he was the one who had that whole challenge with Taka in the sauna. And we also have to remember the weak point and everything. But also the way he spoke. Not even I noticed that. So yeah, at least Mondo and Leon did a better job than did an ultimate gambler. Even though the ultimate gambler should have a perfect poker face, a very good liar, but nope, she's not. She's terrible.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah? I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom.
She just used you.
Wait, then that was...
Yep.
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
You've been quiet this whole
I
time.
have no idea what you mean.
Ah, sure.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
You made a whole ordeal?
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
Hmm? You're going to die just like those guys died. Yuki is referring to this phrase, but that's not a big slip up. Sure, you can think of this as he's referring to Ifumi and Taka, but we could also take the fact that she was referring to the whole ordeal, like Chihiro, Mondo, Leon, Sayaka, Junko. So yeah, that's like not that a big of a phrase.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
It's not that strange. You can see it as she's referring to both Taka and Ifumi, but you can also refer to it as she's talking about everything going on. You know, Chihiro, Mondo, Leon, Sayaka. Am I forgetting anyone else?
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room.
Yeah, he's going with this ordeal, but no, that's
Then
not a big
Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto.
Yeah, like I said, he's referring to this, but yeah, that is not a big argument. This is why I said you suck.
Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
No, he wasn't. Like I said, you could be seeing that she's referring to Taka and Hifumi, but she could also be referring as the whole case or deal where it happened. You know, the Leon, Sayaka. Yeah, I'm not gonna repeat myself. You suck, Byakuya.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
Don't pay attention to Byakuya. He's just trying to act smart.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said?
Byakuya. Ignore them. No. Hell, ignore you because you suck.
If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
But yeah, we're supposed to take it as that's a big deal, but except it's not. She could just say she was referring to. I was referring to Leon and Sayaka, you know, and those other guys that Cosnime keeps talking about. But no, we are going the whole. She's referring to this case. This is ridiculous.
All he said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
I hate this.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around. They must be positively.
Here we go. Come on.
We are all going to die here.
Nope.
We are going to die.
Just... No, it's wrong.
This is the one case that is extremely stupid.
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died.
I hate this.
When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys?
You know, when referring to those guys, you can be referring to girls and boys, you know? Don't be like one of those SJWs who are so sensitive about all the females and males. Bunch of freaks these guys are.
Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations.
Yes, imagination.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
That is the most stupid evidence I ever seen. And I went on a rant on this case, so you guys remember what I said.
It has to be some kind of setup, right?
Yes, it is.
So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Hero, go back to sleep.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
Ha!
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
There is. Hiro said he fell asleep, meaning it could have been drugged. And we know that Celeste, quite obvious Celeste, and Hifumi were working together. Seeing as Hiro wearing that suit, he needed someone else to put it. It could be that instead of Hiro dragging Hifumi, it could be the other way around. Hifumi could have Hiro on top of him. He's just carrying Hiro. I mean, let's face it, if Hifumi is working with Celeste, he is one of the Silents. Not a true killer, but yeah. Instead of, being dragged by the big baddie, Hifumi is clearly just dragging him. I mean, the more I look at this picture, it doesn't seem like the robot chest is kinda, sludge on top of Hifumi. Could be just me creating an illusion, but it does seem me. If you were dragging someone, would you be sludge on top of them, or would you be, backwards, almost like forcing yourself to the exit? Hifumi. Yeah, this one. Hifumi is dragging the suspect away.
It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away.
I like those other options. Hifumi is dancing with the suspect and Hifumi is drinking with the robot justice. That's really funny pictures.
I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
Certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, Hero.
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it?
I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
I did not plan that. I swear.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Oh my. I kind of feel like I heard that sentence before on another game. Okay, so which one is it?
Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me
Maybe
look like
this
a
one?
bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, There's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Bullshit.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that.
Yep. Did you forget?
Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Back to this one.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
Except it wasn't a mistake.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
She's losing it.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
You know, I wonder if anyone ever made a cosplay of that suit, of just Robot Justice. It might be... I should try to search if anyone ever did. Maybe if I do find a picture, I'll post it on the video.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
It is.
Checkmate?
Yes, you know, the thing that happens in chess. Oh gosh, she is losing it.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
I did ask my dad if I recall, checkmate is when you have no more moves. Like, game over, bitch.
Celeste? Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Is that so? Also, Celeste, why are you so mad? Is it because you've been caught?
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
I do remember. I'm not sure if anyone else noticed, but I actually went and checked something. I remember a very interesting while I was hanging out with Hifumi. Hifumi, when referring to Makoto, he referred to Mr. Naegi, Makoto's last name. Now, I also had to check on the other ones. But yeah, pretty much. Hifumi refers to people by their last name, never by their first. You know, the whole tradition in Japan. And yet, for some reason, he refers as Yasuhiro by his first name, instead of referring as Mr. Hagakure. He also said, if you guys remember during the last moment, he also said he remembered everything, meeting all of us before meeting all of us. Now I still want you guys to remember that, for those who haven't played the game. But yeah, that's a very big secret.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not?
Celeste, your voice is completely different. Stop talking like that. You're creeping me out.
He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
Please stop it.
Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Right! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Really? Really? Fucking really? Damn
Your
it.
confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
Sakura, ignore him. He's also scared, so just leave him
He
be.
did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Uh-huh. First, why did that statement that Kyoko said made you lose it? Also, if you guys recall, when hanging out with Celeste, sure, she lied a lot, but she also referred something that she really likes. You know, that food from a certain location in Japan. Do not ask me what is that location and the name. I think it was Gyoza? Not exactly sure, but basically it's Japan. Celeste Lumderberg. It's not exactly a very Japanese name, is it?
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
He said people's last name.
That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Yeah, like Makoto was referred to as Mr. Nayagi.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Nayagi more than once, for example.
That is true.
So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
Isn't this getting interesting? Except we're gonna have to stop right here. So guys, please like the video, subscribe, comment, hit the bell, and I'll see you all on the next video. And bye bye.